Hello and welcome to the Off the Rail preview show for the 2020 Party Poker Mosconi Cup. I'm delighted to be joined by the legend that is Alison Fisher, aka the Barracuda, aka the Fisher Queen, aka the Duchess of Doom, aka 75 titles, national titles, 11 world titles. Is that a good enough intro, Alison?
I think that was very good. Thank you for having me. Wow, you've got a good memory there.
Thank you, yes. It's great to have you here at home in the UK.
Yeah, I'm delighted to be here. It's great to be back in England.
Let's talk about pool. Yes. So many of us thought this wouldn't happen, but at last the Mosconi Cup is happening, it's here.
There's millions of people who tune into this. This is the event of the year of the pool calendar, and being a team event, it makes it much more exciting. So everyone is looking forward to it back in America, everyone in the UK and all over the world, all tuned in, so it's exciting.
So as ever, we don't have a crowd. We've kind of got used to that now, but I think that could potentially mean there's no home advantage, no possibly away disadvantage. How do you kind of assess that one, having no crowd?
Well, I think it might favour Europe a little more because they're used to that disciplined approach to the game. A lot of solo practice, maybe drills, whereas the Americans are a little more boisterous, I would say, confident, outgoing. So it'd be interesting to see how it affects both teams. But over the last couple of years, obviously we've seen America's team change and they've been a lot more focused. Obviously with the crowds, when they are here, that makes a huge difference to matches because it gets the adrenaline going and everything. So I wonder how it's going to work this year. But I would say it favours Europe more.
A lot of the players have experience in the Mosconi Cup. The one thing, this is my first time working here, people talk about the atmosphere, the crowd, but for debutants, Fedor and Chris, they won't have that, so that'd be quite a unique experience for them.
I think it'll be good in some ways for them. Obviously they're missing out on something that's really big, experience in their life. But I think they're going to thrive in it because they could be a little more relaxed at the table. But Fedor, look at Fedor, he's a world champion already. He was world champion at 19 years old. He's only 20 and Chris is only 22. So even though they're young, they still have a lot of experience between them. So I think they'll play their hearts out here.
Unfortunately, they're led by two captains in the form of Alex and indeed Jeremy, two very different personalities. Yeah. Jeremy, very gregarious, but also laid back, whereas Alex, for me, seems laser focused.
Yeah, he's very intense, Alex, but he's also very relaxed away from the table. I've had a chance to speak with him the last couple of days, and I like what he brings to the team, because there's still a really sort of meticulous approach, but he's also a really nice person. So, and then you've got Jeremy, who's a great person. I mean, he's a great commentator, he's a great player, he's been a US Open champion, he's been on the Mosconi team, as has Alex and Carl. And so there's so much experience there between everyone that I think they both bring a lot to their teams.
Well, you mentioned the vice captain, Carl. Yeah. His counterpart is Joey. Again, two very different characters. You've got Joey, who definitely works out, in case you're wondering. And
yeah, well, I learned that yesterday at the press conference. I don't know Joey very well, but I do know that he does work out. I do know that, that's for sure. Carl I've known for many years on the pool circuit around the world. Very easygoing guy, funny, he's got that sense of humour. So I think it's a nice relaxing part to the team too. He gets on with them, he knows what it's all about, he's been in a Mosconi before, so he'll bring a lot to the team too.
If you're entering the team late, like Corey is, because of, unfortunately, the announcement of COVID with the iceberg, what does that do to you? Does it mean you come in more relaxed? Do you almost have not enough chance to prepare?
I would say it's a blessing,
okay.
Really, because it's been a COVID year and there's not been much action in the States, so you're guaranteed an income here. That's really nice.
Important.
It's like a Christmas present, a little bonus. But I think it could be less pressure in some ways. He's a last-minute replacement. He must be over the moon to be here. Right. He's been here for many years before. He's so experienced, he knows what to expect. But it's a shame for Justin. I mean, it really is that he caught COVID, and that is really not so good news for him. So it's sad that he won't be here because that's a big part of the team.
Absolutely.
He was a first pick, I think, for the USA, but Corey's a good replacement, so it'll be exciting to see what happens.
One thing Corey might not have been expecting is what happened in the press conference, and in case you didn't get to see it, here are a few of the best bits.
Good evening and welcome to the Party Poker Mosconi Cup press conference. Alex, are you the right person to get the win for Team Europe?
What do you think? It's like a rhetorical question.
So everyone talks about you as the two-time MVP. Do you find that's more pressure on your shoulders going into tomorrow?
No pressure. I'm just one guy out of five of us. No pressure on me because I got four guys behind me, so I'm not sweating it.
He ain't missed the ball since he grew to move.
Josh, I'm going to come to you just to talk about 2019. Obviously, you showed a lot of emotion on that final match, and effectively it was the losing matchup for the team. How do you come back from that, and how does it feel?
A good player comes back from playing bad or doing something wrong.
He's got,
I think if we want Team Europe to lose, we'd put you in as captain.
Cheers.
That
I'm
would
just a
probably be the time.
zookeeper.
What's been different from Alex as opposed to Marcus?
Marcus don't like me and Alex does.
Before I head over to Joey Gray and talk through the planning, would you like to introduce him?
No, that's Joey Exotic. You might have the cup, but we've got your tiger, pal.
But I'll tell you what, man, I'd definitely be a funny guy and have some jokes if I had a radio face like that. That's for damn sure. That about gets the money, right?
It's pool, not Mr. Olympia, relax.
Hey, if I lose, at least I look good doing it. That's for damn sure.
Everyone's really concerned about you here. How are you coping without Pia?
I'm good. It's ongoing.
Lots of FaceTimes?
Yep.
Okay. Look, you're a fast-paced player. Is the Mosconi Cup, the perfect format for you? Do you feel confident going out there tomorrow?
I think any tournament is perfect for me.
Nice long-winded answers there for you. Is there some rivalry between you and Shane Van Boning with the whole King situation last year?
I think there's no rivalry at all. I'm the only good player there.
Skylar, are you ready to tackle on Josh Fuller?
Yeah, we already seen what happened once. It can happen again. You don't have to speak up over there. I can't hear y'all with the party going on in the back here.
Jason, so I arrived here in Coventry a few days ago. This was from you to Shane Van Boning. At least my team are not full of snakes or grasses. You're only good on big pockets. Tell me who won the last big international event. You are washed up, too old, and too many better players than nowadays. Talk to us about why snakes?
Well, I'll keep that private. That's something I've got inside me.
I think Team USA want to know.
We definitely want to know.
I don't need to know. A few of them already know. That's something I've got inside me, so you'll see this week.
At least I'm not the only one that does it. I know you do too.
Yeah, well, listen, don't worry.
Everybody knows. Everybody does it.
Don't worry. It's personal, so I'm going to keep it personal, and we'll see when the time comes when we're going to play.
I think if you're going to keep it personal, don't put it on Facebook.
It's not often after a press conference in a Q sport that there is genuinely so much to talk about, including what was essentially a boxing press conference at one stage. That social media thing, there was a bit of needle there.
Yes, definitely. I couldn't believe what I was hearing actually out there. I've never heard anything like that in Paul so far.
Really?
So I just wonder how that's going to play into it. They've obviously wound each other up, and I just wonder if Jason's going to keep his cool. Obviously he's got a little gripe there.
Right.
And who's going to gain from that? I'm not sure how that's going to work.
So with that in mind, if you're a captain and you know that's the case, do you try and keep those two apart potentially by second guessing, or do you think we're going to have this head to head?
Well, I've got a feeling that the fans might bring them together.
That's the way.
Because there is a fan pick. So I have a feeling that they might be wanting to see that match.
And out of the two, who do you think would most want that to happen?
I'm sure Jason would want it to happen.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
That would be it's over to you. The fans, as you mentioned, can influence the outcome of this, or certainly influence the outcome of who gets chosen, so get your votes in. How do you think that would actually affect you, having, let's say, a disagreement with somebody that just gets under your skin?
I think it depends which side of it you're on, really. If you're the one with the gripe, or you're the one, getting it all back at you, like Shane is there. But I think knowing Shane's personality, he'll just take it with a pinch of salt and He'll do his thing. Shane does Shane at the table, and he's a great player, and he'll rise to the occasion. He's a great competitor.
Yeah.
He's won everything in sight. As Jason is a great competitor, so whose nerve is going to hold at the end of it all? That remains to be seen.
And that's kind of, I guess, that was what makes the captain's job that much harder. You're having to second guess your own player's performance. You're having to second guess who the other captain's going to choose.
Right.
So how do you
And
go
the
about...
mental state
Right.
of both players, how they're feeling at the time.
So when it comes to selecting the entire week, how would you go about that from a strategy? Do you hold some players back? Do you play them early doors? What do you do?
I think it's important to get out the gate early. I would say that day one's quite important. I think Jeremy yesterday in the press conference said, well, you can't lose the match on day one, which is true.
Yeah.
So you're getting your feet wet, you're getting your players' feet wet, but you also want to come out with some points on the board. And then obviously day four, you've got to hold some players for day four, because if it is close, which I'm expecting it to be, you want some really strong players at the end to bring it home. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see their pairings.
This is so exciting. Final question, Alison, and it's the big one. In terms of all the mullets in the history of hair,
Yes.
whose is at the top? Because I think of Pat Sharp, for example. He's got to be up there. Funhouse. Check it out on YouTube. Yeah. Do you think there's anyone in the pool community who could possibly rival even Pat Sharp?
Well, I think you've got Sky, his hair is a little straighter, and then you've got Billy with some curls in there. So it depends if you like straight hair or curls. If it's curls, it's Billy. So it just depends which way you flow with that, really.
Alison, I genuinely love that you have dissected the players based on their curl quality, because for a man who loves a bit of a curl, I'm very much in support of one man, but I won't say who it is. But you can get to see him and all of the players, USA and Europe, going head-to-head in the Party Poker Mosconi Cup 2020, only on Sky Sports Mix and on DAZN. That's at 6:30 Greenwich Mean Time. It's not to be missed.